So what have we got for you in the July issue of The Mover this month? Well, there's all kinds of stuff as usual. We've got that story about business interruption insurance that I know that some of you will be interested in if your businesses were affected by that. And we have written about this before. This is a sort of a drawing a line under the subject, I think, story. We've got a story from the European Commission about the recovery in Europe following the COVID crisis, which I'm sure you find useful. We've got a tribute to J.P. Mering, who we've written about before, of course, and those of you who know him will know that that he died recently following having cancer. And the tribute that we've done is really an interview with his wife, Tasha, which is a slightly different way of doing these things. But if you knew him, then read it, and I hope you think it's appropriate. If you didn't know him, then read it anyway, because it's quite inspirational. What else have we got? Oh yeah, we've got a story about getting to grips with Brexit, which is a story from Goslin about the regulations and the hoops that you have to jump through nowadays, and explaining how they do it. And I think it's a very interesting subject, because we've had in the UK it's been particularly poignant, because obviously we've had a change in the rules so that the documentation and everything is more difficult, and so there have been quite a few people, moving companies, that did run into Europe that have now decided not to do it. And that's coincided with a boom in the domestic market because of government incentives to move right now. That has meant that, of course, those companies actually don't really feel that they need to run into Europe. They've got a perfectly good business model just working in the UK. However, I think we have to look forwards, and it isn't always going to be that way. So I'd suggest that if you did run into Europe, then it might be well worth having a look at that article. And if you are considering doing it in the future, when the business in the UK begins to ease back again, then read that too. We've got a report on self-storage in the UK, which has come from the Self Storage Association. It's a report on how the industry coped with the COVID crisis. And we also have an interview with Robert Bartup from GB Liners. Now, Robert is never backwards in coming forward, and on this occasion he hasn't been either. And it's all about how to make more money from doing what you're doing. His business has been very successful over the years. And he's managed to not get too involved in this race to the bottom as far as price is concerned. And in the story, he explains his thoughts on how companies can do that and avoid getting caught up in that spiral to the bottom. I urge you to read it. It's our cover story in the July issue, and I hope you enjoy it. Hope you enjoy the rest of the magazine too, and I'll see you next time.